Hello everyone and welcome to your vocal technique video. So I hope you're well. I'm Rebecca. I lead choirs up in Leeds, Ilkley, Wakefield and Keighley up in Yorkshire. I hope you're all having a good day or evening, depending on what time you're watching this. That's the beauty of these things, isn't it? Anytime, when you're free, we're here. So this is just covering a bit of vocal technique. So don't worry if this is stuff you've done before. Don't worry if it's stuff you've never done before. If you've done it before, it's always good practice to recap. If you've never done it before, we're starting from square one. So we're actually going to begin with posture. So whether you're sat or stood, you can still have good posture. So if you're stood, what you want to do, you want to have your feet shoulder width apart. You want to have your hips tucked under, and we want to keep the shoulders down and back, and you want to be supported through your core, but you want to also be really relaxed. You don't want any tension or anything like that. Relax the core for those in breaths. If you're sat, then you just want to make sure you're not basically collapsing onto the lungs. So if we're sat like this with a big arch, so my rock choir star is folded in half. That's not a good sign. So you don't want to be hunched over. You also don't want to be too rigid upright either. You just want to have your hips in line, so don't let them lean forward or back. Have them nice and pointing straight upwards as you can, as much as you can. Nice and relaxed. Relax shoulders. Keep the feet on the floor. If you can't reach the floor, maybe try a different chair. Keep your feet on the floor. And all we're going to do is take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So when you're breathing in, you don't want to be tensing in the core. You want to relax the muscles in the core. So just try relaxing all your muscles. Let them splat out, let it hang out, nice and relaxed. And then with that relaxation, you're going to breathe in. And because you're relaxed, everything will be able to expand, you see. So put your hands on your stomach, breathe everything out, let it all relax. Now breathing in, relaxed. And the air will go right to the bottom of your lungs. If you're getting this instead, you're too tense. We've got to chill. So roll those shoulders. Put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And you want to really keep this chest nice and relaxed. It should only be your hand on your belly that is moving. So deep breath in, nice and relaxed, and then breathing out. So the place where we want to start using that abdominal support is on an out breath. So usually you'll, when you're singing, you'll just have enough breath to get by. You won't have to think about it too much. But then we get to those phrases, and you'll know it with rock choir songs, where it's a too long a phrase just to not really think about the breath. We've really got to concentrate on the breath. So breathing relaxed. And then when you're breathing out, you're going to use support from your core to support that breath. So you don't want to let it go too quickly. So we're using those core muscles to hold back a little bit. So you're holding back on that compression with your lungs, you see. You're not letting it go naturally. You're using that core, those core muscles, just to regulate the flow of that air. So let's do it one more time. So really relaxed, natural breath in, everything relaxed. Now breathe in. And we're going to slowly breathe out with that support. Nice, breathing in. And then slowly supporting that core. Nice and gentle. You don't want to be really tense. It's nice and gentle. And the more, it's quite, there's a balance to be struck between being too tense, being too relaxed on breathing like that. Don't worry, it just takes time. If you've not quite got it yet, give it a little practice when you can. A really good way to start introducing that relaxation and the use of core support, if you can lie down. So it's really good to do in bed at night actually, and you'll have a book handy probably as well. So you lie down, you put the book on your belly, and then when you breathe in, that book should go up. That's what you're aiming for first, so that book to rise. And when you breathe out, you can start, maybe just do it naturally first, just see how it feels. And then you can start to actually control how fast or slow that book is going to move down. So it's a really, really easy one. You could do that every day if you really want to focus on building up this core support. So now we've done the breathing, we're just going to warm up a little. So just go for a little stretch for me, either side, and then lean forwards. Also, if you've got any tension in your jaw, you can give your jaw a little massage here. Jaw tension leads to throat tension, so we want everything to be not tense. You want to be able to relax everything. So if you've got any tense spots, it doesn't hurt just to give yourself a little massage very gently. And you might even be tense around your temples, which won't really affect your singing too much. But if you're tensing in your face, you might start then to tense the jaw, then to tense the throat. So we're gonna do, this is a little warm up that's nice and easy, and we're gonna go slowly just because it's what we call an arpeggio. So it spans a little wide range. You've got 1 of the scale, 3 of the scale, 5 of the scale, then 1 of the scale. So that's how an arpeggio works, except for we're gonna sing I am on top of the world. Sing that with me. I am on top of the world. Let's move it up. I am on top of the world. I am on top of the world. We'll do each twice. I am on top of the world. 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 Can you notice that I'm enunciating but nothing's tense? I've got my mouth nice and open. Try and do that shape for me. So nice and relaxed. I am on top of the world. And again, I am on top of the world. I am on top of the world. I am on top of the world. One more. I am on top of the world. I am on top of the world. Good. So we just touched a little bit then on the mouth shape. So that's what I really want to go through today. Mouth shape, jaw, all of that. So what we're going to do next, we're going to do our singing vowels. So we've got me, ma, more, meh, and moo. So I'll put a little slide up for you. You might want to jot it down there. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. Spell it however you feel like you want to spell it. It just needs to be nice and easy for you to visualize. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. Let's say it faster. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. Little bit quicker. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. Say it with me. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. And again. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. Let's go quicker. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. Me, ma, more, meh, moo. So these are our singing vowels. So these are the main vowels that we use during singing. So if I went E-O-E-O, what I'm trying to do with that technique is just try and keep the mouth shape wide. So take off the M, and now you're just going to do E-R or E-U. Nice and wide. E-O-E-O. The mouth isn't moving too much. We're trying to keep a consistent shape. Try with me. You might even want, I just find it helps if I just touch my chin like this as well. E-O-E-O. So the oo's the one you got that main movement on. E-O-E-O. Now let's do it with the me ma. Me ma mo me moo. And again. Me ma mo me moo. So the challenge is when you're going from the m to the me, you got to get that mouth shape back to the same place. Me ma mo me moo. You can see it's nice and wide, but I'm not pushing, I'm not straining, the jaw's not coming dramatically down or anything like that. We're going to do me ma mo me moo. 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 it kept the jaw nice and open, and I hope we kept it relaxed as well. So just go, like the Scream, that famous painting. So, and yawn. It really is like the Scream, isn't it? So when we yawn, stretches everything out for us, yeah? That jaw shape, we don't want it to be loose, but we don't want it to be, I see a lot of, when we're going for something, people push the chin forward a little bit and they really pull the mouth right back. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep everything wide and bright, because when we get tension here, we get tension here. So this is just a little thing to help you get rid of your tension. So we're going to start with ya now. We're going to go ya, 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 ya. I see that movement there. Ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. That should mobilize the jaw for us. Don't just always feel free as well to give your jaw a little massage, a little stretch out if you need to. So when we're trying to keep the jaw nice and relaxed, but in a controlled way, it really helps to actually keep your face brighter. So if you've got this lifted eyebrows, lifted eyes, your jaw will also be nice and controlled, but you won't be holding tension in it back here, yeah? So it's just like if you were really trying to make a good impression and you're smiling, like a fake laugh, that kind of thing. So that's keeping the face bright. So if we now do me, ma, mo, me, moo, with that nice big smile. Me, ma, mo, me, moo. Do you feel like Julie Andrews yet? Me, ma, mo, me, moo. Me, ma, mo, me, moo. Me, ma, mo, me, moo. It's much easier to keep that wide shape if you've got that brightness. Also, it's really good for performances because a lot of the time you get what we call a concentration face, which is this. That tends to be it, the concentration. That's how it manifests itself on the face. So if you can switch your concentration face to this instead, I'm really concentrating. I'm doing this performance, I'm really trying to think of my part, having the eyebrows lifted and the face lifted and the jaw lifted and nice and relaxed, everything like you're floating on a cloud, a very controlled and safe cloud. So if you can do that, it'll not just make a difference to your actual technique, and it'll mean that you can sing for longer because your throat won't get as tired as quickly if you're not having that jaw tension, and your performances will look so much better. It's much more appealing to the audience to see this than this. So maybe you should take a picture of what you think your current concentration face is and compare it to a picture of your face doing this, see what happens. But yeah, all of this is really good technique. And if you're bright as well, you just happen to stand a little with a little better posture. So this is a really big, easy tip to take on board. Sometimes what we do when we're singing, we kind of forget to do it. I forget, everybody forgets. So you can have a little cue. So with rock choir, you've got a choir leader. So you could have a little cue for yourself. So every time they do this with their hand or something like that, have that little cue. Your leader will have different quirks. So they'll do different things, and there might be something that they do that is quite repetitive. And you can think to yourself, every time they do that, I'm going to be bright and smiley. Because it might go from the face if you're not completely concentrating on it, and that is absolutely fine. So let's just recap that before we go to a cool down. So first of all, your posture, nice and relaxed, upright, and mainly keeping those hips in line so we're not collapsing onto our lungs or pushing back. And then if you want some nice little warm-ups to get your voice nice and warm, we can start with some arpeggios, and you can sing them to I am on top of the world. Ooh. I am on top of the world. And you can do that with brightness as well. So that's just a little easy way to start your voice warm up. And then if you're trying to get those correct jaw shapes, but you want to work on that jaw tension, me, ma, mo, me, moo. That's a really, really good one to do because it takes you through all the jaw shapes, and you can check yourself. Am I tensing? Is it making me have tension in my throat as well? If you need to yawn, that'll just help you relax everything as well. Yawning is good, not while you're performing, but while you're practicing or working on technique, yawning is always good. And the main tip I want you to take away from this, something that absolutely everybody can do, is just keeping that face nice and bright, airy, relaxed. We're not tense, we're not completely loose, concentrating. You might be tense like this, concentrating as well. Bit of a frown might come over you. We're bright, relaxed, and we're ready to sing. So let's do a little cool down. When we're doing our rock choir sessions, it can actually be quite intense on the voice. You're singing stuff that might not, even though you're separated into voice parts, a lot of the time you're going to get challenging notes for yourself. So there's going to be things that are slightly out of your comfort range. Also, your part might be being really intently focused on in that session. You might be singing a lot. You might be going through a lot of repertoire, lots of your songs. It can take its toll on the voice. And an hour and a half is quite a long time. And you're chatting to people that's excited. Or if you're doing this on your own at home like we are at the minute, you might even be singing a little bit louder than you usually do. So it's good to give the voice a little cool down. Basically, when you're cooling down the voice, you're resetting it to its singing level, to its speaking level, sorry. So we've done it in the singing level when we've been doing our singing, we've done the warm-up, we're taking it to singing level. When you cool down, you're resetting it to speaking level. So first of all, I like to do little slides on a yawn. Now, I teach some children as singing lessons, and they can never yawn on demand. And I always say, just wait, you'll be able to get there eventually. None of the grown-ups I teach ever have problems, so try again with me yawning. And then, taking it lower each time. And lower. You might not be able to go that low, you might be able to go even lower. It's just basically taking your voice as low as it can comfortably go. So none of this should feel uncomfortable. And then you can do yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're just taking it back to that speaking level. It should all be really comfortable and relaxed. Once you've gotten there, you might have to do a few more. You might not need to do many. When you're feeling like your speaking voice is back to normal, then you can do this thing called vocal fry. So vocal fry is the vocal folds touching and bubbles of air passing through. So we don't want any note to be under this. So we don't want like that, for example. That's got a note coming through it. We don't want that. We want to completely take that out. So it should be like this. The pitch is actually going to be determined by the mouth shape. It doesn't matter what pitch you do it at, but you might want to just play around and move. So you can even do all your vowel shapes. It sounds a bit like a frog or a villain. It's what we call our modal range. So you hear Americans do it sometimes, oh my god, like that. That might be a character of Friends and they're speaking in their modal range, but it's just that touching the vocal folds almost like a little massage, and it just helps us reset the voice to singing pitch. So thank you for listening today. On a serious note, thank you for listening today. I hope you learned something there, and if you didn't, I hope you had a good chance to practice some of those things that you already knew. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a really good week and weekend. Bye.